Since 1997, when IBM's Deep Blue beat the reigning chess champion, Garry Kasparov, artificial intelligence, the technology behind Deep Blue, has taken the world by storm. From being a research project of top universities in the 60s, it has become part of our daily lives. It's in our search engines, our smartphones. It can decide whether or not you get a job, get entry into a building, or even get a loan. It's the tech behind the self-driving cars and robots like Sophia, who was granted citizenship by the Saudi Arabian government in 2017. But in all of this, there's a lot of uncertainty about what artificial intelligence, or AI, is. What makes it intelligent, and how intelligent is it? Why is it artificial? How powerful is it right now, and will it one day take over the world? You know, like in the Terminator movies or Age of Ultron? We will discuss all in this video, so stick till the end. But before I go further, have you subscribed to this channel? It's that red button just below. Have you done that? Now click the bell button next to it so you get notifications about videos like this. And once you're done watching, don't forget to like and share this video with your friends. Now, down to business. How artificially intelligent is it? First, you need to know that AI is nothing like humans or even animals. It's lines of code built to replicate specific aspects of human activity. So Siri or Google Assistant on your smartphone is software built to carry out your instructions. But that doesn't mean that any technology that carries out instructions is AI. If that was the case, even an ATM would be AI, and that's not the case. We can deem technology to be artificially intelligent, or AI, if it can learn on its own. Isn't that the entire essence of intelligence? The ability to learn? That's what AI is, taking the human ability to learn and putting it into machines. This is done using things called artificial neural networks. They're artificial because they're modeled after the neural networks in our brains. Our neural connections are the reason we can learn, remember, and perform all our daily tasks, like watching this video. In the same vein, an artificial neural network gives the machine the ability to learn from a training dataset, similar to how we learn a language or ride a bicycle. There might be errors as it learns, like how we mispronounce French words, like who gets hors d'oeuvre the first time, or falls several times when learning to ride a bike. But with each try, the AI keeps getting better until it is proficient at the defined task and passes the Turing test. The Turing test is the standard tool for testing whether a machine is truly artificially intelligent. If a machine can carry on a conversation or perform a task so well that you think it was a human being doing it, not a machine, we say it has passed the Turing test. The state of AI today. Now that we have a basic understanding of what AI is, let's consider some modern examples of AI in our world today. Some of them you might have heard of, others maybe not. Either way, these examples will help you discern better when you come in contact with AI in your daily lives. Self-driving cars. Most of us might have never gotten a ride in one, but most likely you've heard of them. Just like the name implies, it's a car capable of driving itself. However, today's self-driving cars are not fully autonomous. They are not yet 100% capable of driving themselves. So in some circumstances, we still need a human driver to operate the car. For instance, when the car cannot correctly identify what an object is in front of it. Self-driving cars use an AI technique known as computer vision to identify objects around them and react based on the information. They have trained these cars to carry out certain actions when it sees certain objects. If it sees pedestrians crossing the road, it slows down. If it identifies another vehicle, it can either slow down or switch lanes, depending on the particular circumstance. Where the car cannot correctly identify an object, the human operator has to intervene. An example of this happened in 2019 when an Uber self-driving car couldn't identify a woman who was walking her bike across the road. The car was confused as to whether the object in front of it was a bicycle or a human being. The companies leading the charge for developing self-driving cars are Uber, Waymo from Google, and Tesla. Elon Musk, Tesla's CEO, has said that by 2024, Tesla's self-driving cars will be fully autonomous. Only time will tell. Smart assistants. If you use a smartphone, you're already familiar with this. It's Siri from Apple or your Google Assistant. It's also found in your Alexa from Amazon that powers smart speakers used in the home. Siri can help you find information, give directions and events to your calendar, and even hold conversations on a lot of general stuff. Although, you shouldn't ask Siri for relationship advice. She's shifty on the topic. Alexa does something similar but is more home-oriented. From anywhere in the home, it can fix alarms, set appointments, shop online, browse the internet, and when connected to a smart home, can operate appliances and lights in the home. Siri, Alexa, and every other smart assistant you can think of work using natural language processing, an AI technique that makes it possible for the system to understand queries and respond to them. All smart assistants have what they call a trigger word or wake word detection. It's that phrase it has to hear for it to be activated. If not, it could end up responding every time you say something, and that would annoy. For Android users, the trigger is,
"Hey Google."
Once you say those words, it gets activated. The next thing is that it pays attention to whatever you say after this, whether it's telling a joke or set an alarm or play music. It uses intent recognition to detect what you want to do from the context of your words, however they are phrased, then executes the action. Recommendation engines. The reason you're watching this video is likely because of YouTube's recommendation engine, which featured it on your feed. Anyway, if you've made it this far and you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. This way you don't have to depend on luck to discover more of our amazing content. Now back to recommendation engines. As the name implies, it's an AI tool that recommends content for users based on their express and implied preferences. So, if you watch a lot of cat videos on YouTube, its recommendation engine will recommend or bring a lot more cat videos to your feed. If you watch a lot of horror movies on Netflix, its recommendation engine will give you more of it. Talking about Netflix, did you know that their recommendation engine is worth $1 billion? Mind-blowing, right? All that money just from recommending shows to watch. Makes you want to build your own engine, doesn't it? Well, it's not that simple. Recommendation engines are built on a lot of data. Lots of it, running into millions and even billions. Not that you can't build a smaller engine with fewer data, but anything on the scale of Netflix or YouTube, and you must bring in the big guns. The data is sorted using a tool called a cluster algorithm that groups items together based on their similar traits. So if you fall into the cluster of people that watch a lot of horror movies on Netflix, and a new movie comes out that most people in that cluster have watched, the recommendation engine is likely to recommend that movie for you. Will AI take my job? We could go on and on about several AI applications out there, but that wouldn't leave enough time to answer the question on most people's minds when they think or hear about AI. Will AI take my job? And it's difficult to dismiss these fears. We have self-driving trucks, so people who have blue-collar jobs are threatened. And even if you're thinking, oh well, I work in the corporate sector, my job requires my mind, not manual labor, so I'm safe. Well, I have news for you. You're not. There are robot advisors that can give investment advice to customers based on their investment preferences and also automate the trading process. So, bye-bye stockbrokers and all their exorbitant fees. Even if you're a lawyer, some tools can draft template contracts online, deliver a written opinion in minutes, and answer questions about the law, as simple as a Google search. So, if it threatens most professions, is there a way out? Are we moving inevitably to a future where humans will be out of work? Will all of us one day become 24/7 couch potatoes while AI does all the work? Well, no. As powerful or intelligent as AI is, it still lacks human values like empathy, flexible communication, and quick understanding. It takes AI thousands or millions of images to identify a cat, but a 2-year-old baby only needs to see a cat once or twice to know it for life. For every task AI eliminates, it creates at least 2 more that are more rewarding or more natural for humans. Jobs like drone traffic optimizer, 3D printed clothing designer, DNA-based drug designer, and AI ethicist are going to be commonplace. So instead of waiting for the future to catch you unawares, start learning about AI use cases in your industry and how you can gain the skills to stay ahead of the disruption curve. You're smarter than AI. You learn faster than it, and the only way AI can beat you is if you do absolutely nothing to improve yourself. And that's the end of this episode on artificial intelligence. I hope you had fun watching it. Don't keep the fun and knowledge to yourself. Click the share button to share with your friends. Give this video a thumbs up. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below, subscribe, and click the notifications so you can watch our next video while it's piping hot. Bye.